And 3, 2, 1. What up, y'all? Welcome to the show. It's your doggy, the lo-fi horror guy, as if you didn't know. Today, we are here with the last installment, sadly, of Mommy Dearest Week. I've been having so much fun participating in this. Your boy, the Horror Junkie 103178, has been graciously hosting this on Instagram all week long. I love taking part in his hashtag weekly endeavors, if you will. Just to go over, my first post was the suckling, very nice. My second post was surf Nazis must die. My third post, day 3, was inside. Day 4 was pin. Very cool movie, very cool movie. My 5th post was Hereditary. Very good, very nice. I saw a couple of other people post up that one as well. Hereditary definitely deserves it. That movie was so cool. So good, so creepy. You know, you can't say too much about it, but what I can say so much about it, so much about, mucho de abuto, if you will, is Little Odic. That movie was my 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th installment for Mommy Dearest Week. There's my Mommy Dearest Week stack. Today, I am going to give you on Mother's Day of all, so make sure that you call, stop by, see, hug, tell them you love them, all the mothers that are out there. I love all the mothers that are out there. You know, just give them a big hug, maybe an air hug if you don't live close by, whatever it may be. Happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. Anyway, today is going to be my last installment for Mommy Dearest Week, and what better way to celebrate Mommy Dearest Week with the one and only savior of Mother Nature in general. Now, what am I talking about? Mother Nature, what is going on? Okay, so my last installment for Mommy Dearest Week is 2014's Godzilla. Now, the original Godzilla, of course I love it. How can you not love it? But this movie here, oh my, Gareth Edwards directed and halted this bad boy. Got a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb. Gareth Edwards also directed Monsters. He also did Rogue One, which, even though it's not one of the original Star Wars movies, was actually probably one of my favorite Star Wars in all of the history of the movies there. This bad boy stars Bryan Cranston, it stars Elizabeth Olsen, it stars Aaron Taylor Johnson. This movie was released, like I said, in 2014, which was actually the 60th year anniversary for the original movie. So I thought that was very cool. Credits to IMDb on the little bit of info there. Now, this movie is so cool. Obviously, you know, it's so cool, in fact, that there's not even a synopsis on the back of it. I'll show you here. We got the cover art, we got the back art, we got the old side fart. You know what I'm saying? So that's the slip cover. Same deal with the case. Luckily, the disc's, you know, black. It's got the lettering on there. So, nothing crazy, but nothing, you know, like overly sweet. As I said, this movie is so cool, in fact, that there's not even a synopsis on the back. It's just different people saying what they thought of it. But this take on Godzilla, obviously, was the remake / reimagining by Gareth Edwards. Basically, this family, which is the Brody family, which, little side note here, actually, Bryan Cranston had mentioned that Gareth Edwards, which is the director, mentioned that the family was named the Brodies because of a shout out, if you will, an inspiration that Gareth Edwards had for Jaws. Obviously, the classic Jaws movie. He took, with Godzilla, not seeing him almost toward the end there, you know, and slowly kind of building up, actually seeing him, and, you know, and kind of letting him be, you know, an actual image as opposed to just background sounds or seeing his foot stomping, you know, something like that. He used all of that in inspiration from Jaws, and then apparently used the Brody, obviously Sheriff Brody, used the name Brody for the main family, Bryan Cranston, Elizabeth Olsen, and Aaron Taylor Johnson. They were all, their last name was Brody. in the movie. So I thought that was very cool as well. Little drop in knowledge, if you will, on a doggy. Arf arf on Mother's Day. Arf 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 to all the mothers. So, fist bump to the mothers. I was not actually punching at mothers. Godzilla. Basically, the family, as I said, was family of scientists. They end up losing the mother right in the beginning of the movie. Spoilers, if you have not seen this, don't watch any more of this video. They lose the mother right in the beginning. They end up seeing all these different aftershocks and earthquakes of sorts coming. They start noticing all of a sudden these huge Muto creatures is what they're referred to. Actually, another version of Mommy Dearest inside this movie as well is one of the Mutos winds up being a mother, and then the people go and they blow up the site where all the eggs are and whatnot. The Navy officers or whatever, the Navy SEALs end up going and they blow up the site where all the eggs are, and then the mother starts crying, and then there's a father, and so basically the Navy ends up taking on this huge couple of monsters, mother and father, that were trying to lay eggs after they blew them up. Well, then all of a sudden, finally you see Godzilla. Godzilla, you know, surfaces after all these years. You know, in the beginning, it's kind of showing how the whole bombing of Hiroshima basically showed the creation of Godzilla, just like, you know, in the original one, Hiroshima, Japan. Very, very cool. Ends up mutating this lizard into this huge, scarred, ginormous, just nasty monster that becomes Godzilla, that ultimately ends up fighting the two monsters. And I think next year they're going to have Godzilla vs. King Kong, which the original was one of my favorites of all time. And then also Godzilla King of the Monsters is coming out in a couple of months here, so I will definitely be checking that out. I can't wait. Soon enough I'll have this in this hand and Godzilla King of the Monsters, ding, in this hand. So obviously, why I said the whole thing with this being Mommy Dearest week. You know, Godzilla's got to take care of Mother Nature. Who knew? This big old beast, this big freak, comes, you know, washing out of the ocean, and come to find out the people love him. You know, he's got to save Mother Nature. What better way to end off Mommy Dearest week than saving Mother Nature, for crying out loud, for dagnabbit's sake? You know what I'm saying? You probably don't know what I'm saying, but that's a term my dad used to use, as dagnabbit, for every sort of thing instead of swearing. You know, anyway, give a fist bump for the old dagnabbit, if you will. Okay, so anyway, iconic scene in this movie to me, from all the movies that I've seen in my whole life. I will still play it over and over and still get chills, still absolutely shudder, have the hair on my arms and my neck stand. The scene where they're doing the halo jump. They're up in the airplane. They're told basically that they might not make it to the ground, they might not return, they might not make it to their families. This is a heroic event, you know, they're going to drop down, they don't know exactly what they're facing up toward, and they drop. Actually, the music that is used while they're dropping, the ominous, just so atmospheric, dreadful music that's playing, is actually the same music. It's the title of it is Requiem. That same music was used in 2001: A Space Odyssey during the monolith scene as well. I thought that was very cool. But the music, along with, you can see actually here on the cover, the red streamers scene where they're all dropping out and they have these red smoke streamers dropping behind them, and they're all dropping down, and it's really foggy, it's really, you know, dusty and cloudy, and all of a sudden they start dropping lower and lower, and next thing you know, they're right next to Godzilla. So you're next to this 500-foot creature, you're dropping, I would just be like, holy boo, you know what I'm saying? I would have pooped my pants if that would have been a real situation, but I saw it in theater, and I just about lost it watching it. I was just like, oh my God, this is such an amazing moment in just movies for me in general, for anything. I absolutely loved that scene. Anytime people tell me they haven't seen this movie, I tell them over and over to watch it. Even if you don't want to watch it, fast forward to whenever it is in the movie. I'll tell you the exact time, you know, any other day, but for some reason I can't think of it now. Fast forward to that scene just to see that, and then even if you're not interested, you might be like, oh yeah, this looked pretty cool actually. very, very cool. You know, the monsters, the Muto monsters are very cool for an original aspect to the series. Obviously, you've got Mothra and all the other monsters and the King of the Monsters, so I'm really excited to see what's up with that. It'll be, you know, very, very cool to see what they end up doing with the rest of this series. But to final off my Mommy Dearest week, I am slapping you guys with the old Godzilla 2014. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. Very, very cool. Maybe not a traditional take on what you would think of for a Mommy Dearest week, but what better to, you know, I mean, if anything, the Mutos are, you know, one of them's a mother and just is so griefed when they blow up all of her babies and all that. But even bigger is to save Mother Nature. Saving Mother Nature, Godzilla, save it. What more can I say? This is the end of the road for Mommy Dearest week. I'm happy that you guys came along with me on this journey. I plan on partaking in other weekly events that people come up with online, or maybe eventually I'll come up with one my own. But for right now, I absolutely love doing this. I love doing posts. I'm going to have a post on Instagram for this, but my full review is here. Godzilla 2014 is absolutely an awesome movie. All of these movies are definitely worth checking out. I hope that you do. I hope that you enjoy watching my video. And without further ado, give me a ding, give me a dong, give me a bing, give me a bong, give me a like, give me a share. If you don't, I do not care. At the end of the day, I just want you to enjoy some Mommy Dearest terrors, if you will, some saving Mother Natures, if you will, some little odic tree branch, tree stumps, if you will, some hereditary crazy Toni Collette. I think that was what her name is. I forgot. Well, Toni Collette's, if you will. Yes, that's her name. Is Toni Collette's. I had to check, you know, my resources, if you will. Some pins, if you will. You know, check out some crazy demonic type dolls. Not demonic, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Just possessed dolls, Pinocchio type situations where people think that things are telling them. Yeah, I've got inside. You know, where people are trying to cut babies out of people. It's real crazy. You got Surf Nazis Must Die, which obviously, you know, it explains himself. Leroy's mama is gonna get you if you're trying to mess with her boy. And you got the suckling, which obviously is the old aborted baby that went down and met toxic waste. So aborted baby, toxic waste equals the suckling. I'm gonna slap you guys with the old 3. Until next time, 2. You guys take care. What?
Nice.